you guys? Welcome back to another episode. Oh, okay. Let me stop. Before we get into today's episode of Any and There's Always a Disney Guy, make sure you subscribe to DisneyGuy.com. Start up a podcast. You guys are doing it new. And yeah, today we're gonna be reviewing Legacy Season 4, Episode 11. So, as you guys know, we're gonna be talking about mainly Hope and Lizzie. Hope and Lizzie find themselves in a unusual place, a carnival, of course. Let me pull up the review because I don't really feel like detailing it. I don't want to make sure I miss anything out. Mm, 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 mm. So it says this was one of the most successful episodes of the season thus far, reminding us why we were drawn to the show and it leads in the first place. The Salvatore School wouldn't be the Salvatore School if it weren't under siege by some wicked villain. Unfortunately for Cleo, this week's villain, the notorious Aurelia, posing as headmistress Eve Bloom, did the most damage to her rather than the rest of the student body, most of whom fled mass exodus. The peculiar quality of carnivals make them the ideal vessels for creepy happenings. This carnival was all the more enticing due to the added Vampire 101 class taught by our favorite tribrid. Did anyone else think that Hope came across as a bit more human at the carnival? She may not have wanted to assist Luna in finding her sister, but she was more tolerant of Lizzie, helping her learn to focus while using her powers. Not to mention, she rescued her from the vampires. She makes a good teacher if she switched her humanity back on. Totally agree. Hope was on fire, shooting snarky lines out left and right. It was as if she got a personality boost. Her distaste for the old-fashioned vampires was particularly amusing. Overall, the Hope and Lizzie team up we were waiting for did not disappoint. Both of them are more likable when they're bantering and not pretending they thrive on apathy. Lizzie asked for Hope not to sever the sire bond was significant. The big question is whether or not she will change her mind. One decent day under Hope's thumb does not mean relatively smooth sailing from here on out. It seems that Lizzie is using Hope as a stand-in for Josie. A sire bond is certainly a viable replacement if the merge will be a plot point cast aside. Lizzie redeemed herself by trying to help Luna. The parallel between Luna and her dead sister, and Lizzie and Josie wasn't subtle. It knocked her square in the jaw, but it did its job. Though Josie is not dead, so Lizzie has less to mourn than Luna. Either way, I was proud of Lizzie for showing compassion. She's not all that intolerable when she's kind, and her insults are permissible when directed at vampire scum. So yeah, it was definitely a deep, a deep episode. When it came between Hope and Lizzie, and it was great seeing Lizzie being vulnerable to Hope like that. But yeah, it would be a lot better if she was like that while Hope had her humanity on. That would have been an even more greater moment. But we get what we can get. Thank you guys for listening in for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast. And yeah, thank you guys for listening in. And yeah, bye-bye, guys.